Okay, so I am re-recording this vlog. Um, I recorded one and posted it, and the sound. I think my hand was covering the microphone, so the sound was in and out. So I'm doing it again. Um, yeah, maybe that's kind of like a testament to like my sense of resistance about posting it. Yeah, basically, I was saying that it feels very exposed to do these vlogs still. Like even though I've been doing them for a little bit. And in a weird way, it's like it feels more exposed. I would say even now because um, as I talk about like my life and my feelings, it's like it's not so anonymous. Like um, there are people in my life, and they're like, and I want to like not like out people in my life that don't want to be as exposed as I am, and so I feel like I have to dance around that kind of stuff. Um, and be less specific about like the things that are going on in my life because I don't want to bring people into it that don't that didn't ask for this. um, but yeah, just kind of reminding myself that the intent is to like they say live an unconcealed life. I want to live honestly and live a life of expression um, and this idea that things that a lot of people choose to hide just because it's just not talked about, like I want to push those edges. It's like, oh well, what if we did choose to talk about those things? um, and I think for me, I guess that the one of the big edges is this idea that I have a lot of emotions. I constantly have to like sit down and like deal with my emotions about anything, and sometimes it's not really predictable, and sometimes it happens at inconvenient times where I need to just like sort of sort out what I'm feeling. And I feel like, I should be able to not be so feeling, and um, but I really want to be able to embrace this thing about me, and see that there are probably a lot of strengths to being a feeling person, and how I can use the information in a way that's helpful in the world. um, so yeah, I'm excited about some upcoming projects, um, doing more like event organizing, and leading different events, facilitating different events that are related to communication and spirituality, um, potentially nudism, but not. It doesn't always have to be. I do it like spiritual things. I do sexual workshops as well. So sort of just doing that, and just with the idea that um, this idea that you should be doing the thing that you would do if money were no object. And I feel like I'm doing this as a thing that just feels like I need to do. It's just like a way that I need to express myself in the world, and that seems like fun to me, regardless of what seems like in my logical mind is like what would be a moneymaker. Um, and just really be more creative with what I want to put out into the world. Um, and yeah, I've been really lately very passionate about collaboration and community and bringing people together, and people sort of pushing their limits of what they feel like they can say in social settings or do in social settings, and just expanding people's range of expression. So it's like, let's say you think you can only express this amount in certain settings. Like, okay, what if we practice expressing more when you're in like a certain container of this like event, and then if you feel like everything goes well in that setting, you could take that maybe to the workplace or like your family life, or um, so that's sort of like what's been on my mind and most intriguing to me. Um, and I like this idea of it being a journey for me too. Like this, like when I decided in college to major in psychology, they often say about psychology that like it's really because you want to solve your own problems, and I think what keeps it fresh and exciting and like sort of riveting is this idea that like it's shocking to me too. Like what's revealed in the capacity of me doing these events and workshops is like surprising and delightful and revealing to my own life. So I don't have to like fake it. It's just like it's actually a big reveal for myself, and therefore that gets transmitted in what's happening, and I get to sort of set the tone for those kinds of events. Like setting the tone for these breakthroughs in my own life, so that other people feel like they can go to those places too. Um, so yeah, it sort of in a way makes sense, in terms of like when I look at like my whole life's journey, is like as to what the things that have been attractive to me are. Um, my family has always been in the whole like therapy field, social workers, psychiatrists, um, psychologists and stuff. So, so I think I'm just taking it to a different space. It's still the same sort of idea of like wanting to help people through like social communication, and understanding themselves. And I guess the piece that I want to add as an individual, is the pieces that have been like helpful to me. So this idea of like community, and this idea of, I guess nothing is shameful. Like anything that's inside you is valuable and worthwhile, like to express, and it all is valuable to have it come out. Um, so so those are the things that like are personally exciting to me, and also living in the moment, because I think I've had a history of being very I guess perfectionistic or OCD or whatever you want to call it, like controlling, trying to make everything fit perfectly into place, and being really meticulous, and that caused me a lot of like sort of mental suffering, and ultimately physical suffering, with addictions and stuff. I mean, not well. Eating disorders was my addiction, and maybe probably to some degree still is. So just my own journey has been exciting, fuel for what I want to put out into the world. And I like this idea that like whatever your so to speak darkness is, that's the thing that you should be doing, because that's the thing that has the most dramatic effect, and that's the thing that like is most personal, and you have the right to really be teaching something that is that personal. So like all the emotion I have about that whole journey can be put into the things that I want to give to the world. So yeah, it all kind of makes sense in that way. This idea of like being proud of myself and my body. So the nudism sort of came from that, and feeling really confused about sexuality, and then so I practice orgasmic meditation and other like tantric sort of practices that have made me feel at peace with my sexuality and my relationship styles, and being bisexual, being polyamorous. So I want to just remind myself to continue to stay honest and stay expressive, even when it's like, it feels really like very raw. Yeah, there's still a lot in me that wants to be expressed, and I still feel like really kind of wincing at like the thought of a lot of the expressions that I still want to put out there. And I guess I'm realizing like in a weird way, I do feel like I'm kind of doing it on my own, in the South Florida area. I think I took for granted the fact that New York had so many resources in this way. Like, I feel like in New York, like so many people are like in their heads and neurotic and rushing and feeling like everybody's better than them. And so I felt like there were more resources there. And in South Florida, it's like you definitely have to work harder and sort of create the thing that you want to see, because it probably won't just exist just already. So yeah, I feel excited about starting to do more facilitating and leading and teaching and stuff. But I guess I'm just feeling like still like I would love to have, I guess, more support around like pushing those edges. Like, I feel like if I'm in a community of people that are doing that kind of stuff, that are really like bold and ambitious, because I'm empathic, and I'm very sensitive to people around me, I just pick that up without even like really needing to work on it. Like, I can really pick up that energy fast. Like, but yeah, I've definitely noticed that in South Florida, everything is way more laid back. New York is considered such an ambitious city. Like, everybody wants to go somewhere and achieve something and be a Broadway star and be on television or whatever. Whereas in Florida, it's a big retirement area, so people are kind of content. They're kind of, it's cool. And I really feel that the difference there. And I just want to make sure that I'm staying like connected to the things that make me excited and come alive, and challenging myself in those ways. So that said, like I'm excited to go back to New York, so I'll kind of like tap right into the people that I feel like help challenge me, and then also doing the best with what I can that's here, and just deciding that in Florida I have to take more initiative. I have to be more out there. And also, the internet's a beautiful thing. I can definitely connect with people all over the world that inspire me to keep pushing forward. Cool. So I think this video was actually better than the other one. So maybe it all worked out. All right. Bye.